Good morning. It's Monday, March 18th. Actually, I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon, March 17th, so happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. But it's your Monday morning alert, brought to you by myself, Mitch Zumba, DeKalb Agro and Precision Planting. I got two important topics today. The first one is, like I said, it's Sunday afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. We got 1 hour till the brackets come out. So I've been doing bracketology all day, wondering where the Cyclones are going to end up. Sorry, Hawkeye fans. I sure wish you would have made it in. One more win and you would have made it. I think you got screwed over by the officials, but maybe the Cyclones will end up in a good spot and we'll march right to the end. So after that, maybe we should talk about more important issues like agronomy. The one thing that I want to talk about today is herbicide carryover. With the dry weather we had last year, as we're looking at this year's crop, maybe one of the best things we should do is look at last year's crop and what did we do to last year's crop that's going to affect this year's crop. Actually, this issue was brought up to me by a grower of mine. He had applied Lumax and a full rate of Halex GT last summer for control on water hemp, and he got to worrying towards the end of the year, with the dry weather, what's this going to do? That's a lot of Callisto out there. Am I going to have carryover? So he talked to Chemical Rep or two. They told him to go dig up some soil, bring it in the house, plant some soybeans in it, see what you get from it. So he did that. He went out in the field, dug up some soil, planted soybeans in it, and after a couple weeks they quit growing and started showing Callisto injury. Now this was out in the middle of the field. It wasn't where it was doubled up or anything like that. So, it poses a worry. So he's had to change his cropping plans now from planting corn and soybeans to planting only corn. As you guys look at your cropping plans from a year ago and what you did, look back at what you did, look at what you're going to do this year. Make sure you're not doubling up on any herbicides like atrazines from a year ago and moving to something that would affect that for this year. There's a lot of products out there. I've included a list in this email, 2 different lists, one of corn herbicides and one of soybean herbicides. And then the interval between planting period, between application and planting period. So look at those 2 lists, look at what you applied last year, we'll look at what you're going to apply this year, and make sure everything's kosher. I wrote down a few of those things. Some of the things on the list, if you planted corn last year and you're going to soybeans this year, look at Lumax, Halex GT, those both have Callisto in it, and then you have the Callisto product. Caprino and Corvus. Caprino's got a 10-month interval. Corvus has a 9-month. Hornet actually has a 10.5-month interval. And Impact has a 9-month interval. Now, I don't know if those intervals increase a lot when we have dry weather, with adverse conditions and not a lot of water to move that herbicide down through the soil profile. We can lengthen those times out. I'm not an expert on herbicides, but it worries me a little bit, especially if we have to go out on a call second week of June and somebody's corn or soybeans is quit growing. Now, if you look at your soybean herbicides, the carryover from the soybean herbicides, you can look at Reflex, Flexstar GT, and Flexstar. Those all have a 10-month interval. Sonic, Authority First, Valor XLT, those all have a 10-month replant or planting interval from soybeans to corn. And Treflan has a 12-month interval. So I've included those lists in there. Take a look at them, see what you used last year, what are you going to use this year, and make sure we're not doubling up on something we used last year that's going to be damaging also this year. There's a few websites out there with some information on them. Maybe I'll try to include some of those too that say what not to mix with what you used a year ago, especially if we end up dry through June or July this year. We could really compound the problem even more. So I'll include those in the email. That's it for today. This has been your Monday morning alert. Now everybody can go out and fill out those brackets, and we'll prepare to be unproductive Thursday and Friday. Thank you. For myself, Mitch Zumba, have a great day.